3 games. No one loves that more than Kat Sandercock, their starting pitcher tonight, the fourth-year pro out of Florida State. She's from McLean, Virginia, the 4th overall pick in the allocation draft this year. She returns to Athletes Unlimited, is 1-0 with a 4.00 ERA, just her 3rd appearance since returning from Japan last week. There is strike 1 from Sandercock, facing off with Corby Otis to lead off this Cascade lineup that desperately needs to find more consistency from an offensive standpoint. Kat nearly lost her balance there trying to step onto the rubber.
Okay, well, it is a little windy today, so maybe she lost her balance when she was on one foot getting set.
Keep an eye out for Kenley Cahalan in the 5 spot, starting to heat up. We know that that's a very capable bat. She has moved up into the 5 spot in the order. Saw her kind of down toward the bottom in the early stages of this season before she got it rolling. Corby Otis has been their best and most consistent hitter, has a hit in 7 of the last 9 games, 3 extra base hits in that span, and 5 multi-hit games on the season. Otis takes strike 2 on the outside corner.
And Corby Otis has put together such a good season. We saw her with the Blaze last season, and then the expansion draft, the Cascade grabbed her, and somebody that has a lot of power at the plate, also good speed. She can get down the line quick.
That got Otis, so a leadoff base runner for Portland.
Mostly Kat Sandercock is going to be down. That's what you saw her throw at Florida State. And when she was at Florida State with their head coach and pitching coach, Lonnie Alameda, she developed a rise ball. Her drop ball is going to be her go-to pitch at 69, 70 miles an hour. She'll spin a rise ball up in the zone, takes a few miles an hour off of that pitch, and then we'll also mix in her changeup at about 54.
Here is Megan Grant. First pitch swinging and drives that on the ground into foul territory. As dangerous as they come. First pro hit went 313 feet. Her second home run of her career went 293 feet. 7 of her 8 professional hits are extra base hits, and 6 of them are homers.
Well, you saw how aggressive she was on that drop ball that was down in the zone, the first pitch of the count. That drop ball was a pitch that she handled very well her senior season at UCLA. She hit drop balls for a .526 average. 13 of her home runs came on drops.
You hear the ooze from the crowd on that swing. Another foul ball from Grant.
And that's another drop. And when you go into Megan Grant, you have to go hard in. You cannot miss out over the plate because she will send it over that right field wall. But that last foul ball, strike for Kat Sandercock, and now she finds herself in a pitcher's count.
And she sit Grant down with no damage done. Grant lays off the pitch up. It's 2-2. It's a hitter's park today. The wind blowing straight out for the last 90 minutes and continuing to do so this evening as we get started. Two-two.
We have such a good crowd today, too. It is smoking hot here, and we are a part of the heat dome that's going on in the middle of the country in the East Coast, and it is 96, 97 when we got to the park. It's humid. You know, it feels like triple digits down there on this field, but this crowd has showed up ready to watch the Bandits play. I'm sure they're excited to watch them hit, knowing their last home game, they put up 13 runs.
Another 2-2. Grant just got a piece of that. This has been a streaky Portland team. They're trying to do something they have not done all year tonight, and that is respond immediately after a loss. They lost 2 straight to start the season, then they won 5 straight. They lost 2 in a row, then they won 3 in a row. Now here they are trying to make sure this is not another streak, but a quick bounce back in a very important game for 2 teams that are fighting directly with the other one to stay in the top 3 in the standings. Pitch number 7 on the way to Grant. Inside and another foul ball, so we go to pitch number 8.
Well, she just doesn't swing and miss a lot. I had pulled this number before the Women's College World Series this year, that in synergy, Grant had seen 230 drop balls. She had only swung and missed one time at a drop ball. That was going into the Women's College World Series and what was actually documented in synergy, but she sees down very well.
Watch that up very well, and now a 9th pitch on the way. I just wondered, pitch number 8 was the magic number last night for Jada Coleman and the Talons on that game-winning grand slam. 3-2. Grant up the middle. What a professional at bat from Megan Grant.
She is so good on pitches down. It's exactly the pitch that she wanted to get early in the count, and it's the pitch that she got with 2 strikes. Laid off the rise ball to be able to get the drop ball down in the zone, fouled off a changeup in that at bat. That truly was a professional at bat by the rookie, and 81 miles an hour off the bat.
I'm not sure she knew there was a safety bag at first base. She's just never on that base. So she's probably looking down at the orange side of that thinking, what is this? Swing and a miss at the first pitch by Sydney Stewart, another talented rookie who's still trying to get it going in some ways. From an average perspective, Stewart struggling at 207, but she's reached base in all but one game. Has walked 7 times, that's second most on the team, and has been hit by a pitch twice.
You can see her chasing this drop ball, exactly what Sandercock wants to see out of her hand. Her going down to chase that pitch low and away. Quickly getting ahead 0-2 on these drop balls outside. I'm sure she'll go there again.
Stewart into right field, shallow, and that's going to get down. Grant has to hustle to second to avoid the force out, and it's a dangerous moment here in the first inning for Kat Sandercock and the Bandits.
Megan Grant got a really good read on that, much better than Corby Otis. If Corby Otis, look how close Corby gets to second base, but Megan Grant got far off and able to get to second base, so nobody was able, or no out was able to be made by the Bandits, and now the bases are loaded for the Cascade after Sydney Stewart was able to do something with that drop ball that was a little bit elevated.
And they're loaded for the very dangerous Mia Davidson. Swings at the first pitch, similar spot, that will fall. This time they do get a force out at second base, but they also get the first run of the game. It's an RBI for Mia Davidson.
And those are the ones that are just so frustrating as a pitcher. You think you make a good pitch, and then it just falls. 2 CNI singles by Sydney Stewart, and then Mia Davidson in the exact same spot on the field. This time Bandits are able to get an out, though.
Cahalan didn't fully commit to that pitch and falls behind 0-1. Over the next 10 days, these 2 teams, including tonight, will play 4 times. Look at the AUSL standings. The Cascade are in second place. The Bandits are in 4th, but they are separated by just a game and a half. Oh-2 outside.
It's good to see Kenley Cahalan swinging it better for this Cascade team. They need her. Find themselves in second place, and their strength has been their pitching staff, but they'd love to see some more offense from players like Kenley Cahalan and Tori Vidalis on deck.
Cascade will continue a run of playing teams that are chasing them right now. Come Saturday and Sunday, they will head to Oklahoma City for a 2-game set against the Spark, who just snapped a 5-game losing streak last night. Here's Cahalan in the 2-2 count. 5-game hit streak. Swings through it. Big out number 2 for Kat Sandercock.
It's a well-placed rise ball in the outside corner. It's not too high like it was to Megan Grant, well out of the zone, but it is a low rise ball through the zone that gets Kinley Cahalan to chase that pitch. Next, her drop ball and rise ball well and net it back to Cahalan with the runner at third base and less than 2 outs.
This might end up feeling like a win if the Bandits only allow the 1 run in this inning after the bases were loaded with nobody away.
You can see these chases that Sandercock is getting on her drop ball away from these righties, like that first pitch to Tori Vidalis, well out of the zone, but it shows you the movement on that pitch, 10 inches of vertical breakdown.
That is a nasty pitch from Sandercock. Ahead of Tori Vidalis, 0-2. It's uncharacteristic numbers for Tori this year, hitting just 158. But 4 of her 6 hits are for extra bases.
And still has low strikeout numbers. Tori Vidalis is not a hitter that strikes out a lot. Even at her career at Texas A&M, had more home runs than strikeouts in her entire career.
For perspective, hit 65 career home runs at Texas A&M. She's hit 1 so far this season. Decent swing, but over to Williams at third, and Kat Sandercock ends up only giving up 1 in the first, but Portland, they are on the board. Hottest teams in the league. This lineup is scary. Skylar Wallace leads it off, and then it's the best hitter in the league, Sammy Williams, 7 RBIs in game 1, tied an AUSL record.
She just went off even after striking out her first at bat, had 3 hits after that, but this Bandits lineup 1 through 9, they're getting production from everybody.
They will face off with a rookie out of Arizona State, Kenzie Brown, 2-1 on the season, a 3.44 ERA, making her 5th appearance. All of them have been in starting roles and trying to bounce back after the shortest start of her career against Texas, which went just 2 1/3. She gave up 2 earned and struck out a pair.
She's had a really good start to her rookie season. She's definitely going to get tested by this offense today.
Back up the middle, Skylar Wallace wastes no time. She has been electric since she returned. Just her 5th game back. It's a 5-game hit streak. 7 hits total and 7 runs scored.
Rise ball is going to be the most used pitch by Kenzie Brown. She likes to stay more up in the zone with her rise. That cutter that she'll throw is like a 2-seam fastball. It also will move up a little bit, but it's her drop ball, changeup, and the off-speed pitch down in the zone that complement what she can do up in the zone. She came in to Arizona State as an up ball pitcher, and in her career there, especially her junior and senior year, developed her stuff down that just ended up making her first team All-American at Arizona State and one of the best pitchers in the country.
Popped up off the bat of Williams, and that is a gift right there. Sammy Williams on a 6-game hit streak, hitting over .530 on the season, pops out on the first pitch from Brown.
Now batting number 31, Mac Barbara. I feel like this song for Mac Barbara is just so fitting for her walk-up song. Return of the Mac. I mean, it's just a 90s classic. Her name is Mac. That just fits her perfectly, of course.
Wallace runs. There was one thing I think we were certain of when Shonda Stanton was hired to be the Chicago Bandits head coach. We talked all about how aggressive she is. But of all the people on this roster, Skylar Wallace fits that mold so well.
Yeah, and she just has top speed. She gets going so fast. Her first couple of steps, it feels like she's already at her peak speed. Such a good base stealer, and Shonda Stanton is her kind of coach because she will have these runners go. And I think, too, we're talking about this before the game, I think that the Bandits are really going to try to run on Mia Davidson, or if Sydney Stewart, the rookie, is back behind the plate. I just think that they're really going to push them to prove that they can throw them out.
It's like Shonda Stanton got all of her powers back over the last week. Mac Barbara is hit, and she will take first with just 1 out. The Bandits last year finished 2nd in the regular season and lost the AUSL championship to the Utah Talons. Part of what made them so great is they were basically all together from the start. They weren't really missing anybody. This year, they were tied for the most players missing on their opening day rosters. And the biggest ones were Kilfoyle, Sandercock, Wallace, and Emily Kennedy. All of those players now back. Dealing with a couple other injuries currently, which is part of the reason Mac Barbara is here right now, but she's been excellent.
Hoping she's okay after that hit by pitch there. You know, it's so painful in that area, getting hit by your hands, wrist, forearm by a 70-mile-an-hour pitch from Kenzie Brown, who throws with very good velocity up in the zone.
See the grimace, even as they checked on her after they left for Mac Barbara, so we'll keep an eye on that one. First and second, one out for Morgan Zirkle. Outside ball one. By Morgan Zirkle's standards, it's been a little bit of a slower start. She's only hitting 277, which a lot of hitters would gladly take, but after the year she had last year when she hit 420 with 9 doubles and 9 home runs, both of those marks leading the league. She's looking to find that power again. Kind of a wild swing here for strike one.
It's a changeup. She has a little bit of a smile like, okay, I see that changeup that everybody's talking about now out of the hand of Kenzie Brown. It has been such an effective pitch for her in this league.
Two and one. Kenzie Brown, mentality-wise, not that you want to change anything, but this is probably one of the best lineups she's ever faced in her life. How do you approach it when you know the next batter is probably just as dangerous as the last one?
Yeah, I think just trusting your stuff and working off the edges like she's trying to do here. Got in trouble with the Skylar Wallace pitch because that pitch missed more over the heart of the plate, and these Bandits will hit that pitch. And there's such a big difference, too, but with her lefty-righty splits. Lefties hitting significantly better. There's a lot of lefties in this Bandits lineup, which, again, is what Shauna Stanton wants.
See the splits, 146 against righties, but 7 left-handed hitters. Zirkle into right field. It's down, and that's going to go to the wall. Zirkle going to head for third. And Barbara's going to make it all the way in. Now here comes Zirkle as the ball gets away. And the Bandits score 3. And the hometown crowd loves it.
Morgan Zirkle does a nice job of sitting back on an off-speed pitch from Kenzie Brown. It was just 59 miles an hour, but up in the zone, and she punishes it. Megan Grant was playing so shallow. Morgan Zirkle is a player that led the league in home runs last year, and Megan Grant was playing so shallow in right field. A good hustle by Morgan Zirkle, who has a ton of speed. And again, Shauna Stanton, this Bandits team, they are so athletic, always looking to take extra 60 feet. So she sees that get past Grant, is thinking triple. Then Shauna Stanton recognizes it for her that the ball gets away and makes a decision for her. She reads it and gets in.
That is up and in and hits Jacopo, who will take first. And Anna has Morgan Zirkle in the dugout.
Morgan, quite the response from you guys at bat and you there. What'd you see on that pitch?
The only thing she was throwing me for strikes was the changeup, so I knew it was coming again, and thankfully got it through.
This dugout was ready for it. It's like they could tell the runs were coming. How much is the energy in this dugout affecting the play out there on the field?
So much. Like, we've really came together these last few games, and our offense has exploded, so fun to be a part of it finally.
Great. Thanks, Morgan.
It's, I think, my favorite part of that highlight of her coming all the way around. When she was headed to third, she never looked back at the ball. Shonda Stanton gave her the go, and I feel like so often players look because you just want to know. But Morgan Zirkle, in the textbook fashion,
they have that relationship. They played together. Morgan Zirkle played for Shonda Stanton at Marshall, so the amount of trust that those two have in each other runs deep and decades deep.
Shonda Stanton is turning the clock back on Morgan Zirkle because she has 4 stolen bases this year, and she remembers her as a sophomore when she won the Golden Shoe, leading the nation in stolen bases.
Does not even look. She tells her to go, and she says, "Yes, ma'am, I'm there."
It's funny asking each of them about this situation again, and I think the sentiment from both is that Morgan has more opinions now on how the game is played because she's a coach in her own right. She's just finished up her 3rd year at Marshall as the head coach at her alma mater, and also signed a contract extension after the season. They're giving Mary Jacopo a hard time because she could not commit to going when that ball got away from Mia Davidson behind the plate. That is inside, and Erickson limping a little bit down the first baseline. It's the 3rd hit batter in this 1st inning for Kenzie Brown.
Well, Cascade pitchers, their starters are having trouble going deep into games. I think that this is 3 games in a row where their starter has struggled. In fact, the last time Kenzie Brown pitched was against the Volts. That was on June 27th, and she only lasted 2 1/3 innings. Kelly Maxwell got pulled early in her start against the Volts, and then Sam Landry got hit hard in game 1 of this series a couple of days ago.
You feel the pressure as a pitcher when the offense is struggling that I have to come out and probably allow 3 or fewer for us to have an opportunity?
Yeah, you can feel that way a little bit, but they were feeling, I mean, this Cascade offense wasn't really producing even 2 weeks ago when this Cascade pitching staff was mowing down hitters left and right. But there's just been a little bit of a shift with their starting pitchers for some reason. And maybe, hitting is contagious. Maybe tough starts is contagious with the pitching staff.
Quick visit with Kenzie Brown, who's hit 3 batters in the inning. She'd only hit 1 entering this game in 20 1/3 innings pitched. She has a strikeout ratio of more than 1 per inning. She could use some of that right here. 1st and 2nd again, just the 1 out.
It really is her free passes that I feel like have hurt her too, because coming into this game, opponents only hitting 200 against Kenzie Brown. She'd only had 1 hit by pitch coming into this game, and she has 2 in this inning.
Bella Dayton jumps ahead 2-0. Bella actually had to depart the team after the opening week because she had to go to Prague to play with Team Italy. And then returned and has went right back into the starting lineup. Takes that for strike 1. 3rd year pro, 2nd year with the Bandits. Had 3 hits in game 1 of this 2-game set with the Cascade. Almost half of her season total, which sits at 7. Pops this up. A much needed one for Brown. 2 outs.
The thing that is tough for this Cascade team is that these runs that they give up, their offense has struggled to score runs. Like, they have the worst batting average in the league. They're scoring the fewest runs per game in the league. So every time that they give up runs, it feels like a mountain to climb with how they've been hitting. Now, at any time, that has a chance to change, and they could turn into maybe the best offense in the league like the Bandits have done the past 3 games. But their offense has just yet to really get going to support their pitchers.
It's been one of our conversations off air so often is the lineup looks good. On paper, this is a lineup that should be able to produce some big numbers. Cahalan, Vidalis, Stewart, Otis, Megan Grant, Mia Davidson. Jessica Clements in a 1-1 count, trying to keep it going with 2 outs. 2-2. I think one of the most incredible things about the way this year has shaken out is that the Talons are already to that point where you're talking about a magic number for them clinching a spot in the playoffs, and that number is 7 for them. So whether that comes in the form of wins for them or losses for others, they are closing in on one of those top 3 spots, and very likely looks like they will be the top team, barring someone stepping up and doing what no one really has done and beating them consistently, taking 2 or 3 from them.
Yeah, they've just been so solid and tough to beat. They've not relinquished a lead, I don't think, at this point this year. Their pitching and defense has been so strong. They've had clutch hitting.
Swing and a miss. Brown strands a pair, but Zirkle on a 2 RBI triple comes
with them, and he became an absolute star. And then Mississippi State won the Eugene Regional, went to Oklahoma, and Norman won the Super Regional, made it to the Women's College World Series, and he followed them there.
Our third member of our team, Anna Camden, said, "Why broccoli?" And I think the question is, what else would you pot? It has the durability of the vegetables to be in the heat and to be wielded in the manner that he is using it.
He's from up in the Pacific Northwest as well, so I would imagine he's a Cascade fan.
Ground ball through the right side. Kennedy Powell trying to get things going at the bottom of this order. 7, 8, 9 here in the second for the Cascade.
But he's definitely famous. Like Taryn Kern was telling Skylar Wallace, like, dude, he's been viral. Yeah, he has been.
Skylar Wallace mic'd up tonight. We will talk to Skylar in the 3rd inning of this game. Excited to hear from her. Coming back and just been on fire. We actually saw her in center field when she got back. Erin Koffel was the shortstop for Chicago. So Skylar, being the exceptional athlete that she is, moved out to center field. She is back at shortstop. No Erin Koffel in the lineup tonight. She returned in game 1 of this series after missing their 2nd game at Oklahoma City, but is not in the starting lineup tonight. So something to keep an eye on if you are a Bandits fan or an AUSL fan, because it could have a big impact on this race. Sis Bates at the plate. There is Erin Koffel, last year's MVP and hitter of the year. That is outside to Sis. Sis slapping at this pitch and just got a piece of it. 2-2 count. Sis Bates having a decent offensive year. 2nd best average on the team, hitting .273. Couple hits in the last 2 games. 2 hits last game, both of them triples. Leads them in runs scored, also in triples after the 2. Another foul ball.
Yeah, this is the 2nd inning, I feel like, is where Cascade scored a lot of runs. It was when they answered back in the 2nd inning as well in game 1. Ended up being a 2-2 game going into the bottom of the 2nd. But then, I mean, Chicago just scored in every inning that they came up to the plate, and Cascade just could not keep up. But Cascade responded in that top of the 2nd inning 2 days ago.
Outside, and another quality at bat. That is the one thing. These first 2 frames, we saw Megan Grant with one. Sis Bates now putting together a quality at bat. (3-2) Bates just foul. do you feel like has been the missing ingredient for this Cascade offense? They've had their moments, but consistency has been a problem.
That just seems like they've scored runs in spurts.
Bates pops it up, shallow center field. Agbayani goes back to make the catch. And there is one out. Let's go down to Anna Camden.
Well, Skylar Wallace has been a huge part of this Bandits team recent success, and even though she's only been back on the Bandits roster, returning from Japan for a couple of weeks, she and rookie Jocelyn Erickson already have a really impactful bond, and that's because they played together at Florida. And not only that, they both won SEC Player of the Year, Skylar in 2023, Jocelyn in 2024, and Skylar said that she's been someone that Jocelyn can lean on. She said she knows the way her brain works, knows how to talk her through everything, and the hardships that inevitably come with the game, and both the rookie and the vet seem to be hitting their stride here with the Bandits.
That's a good point, because since Skylar Wallace came back, Jocelyn Erickson has put together a 3-game hit streak. She's 5 for 9 over that span, which is more than half of her hit total for the season. Only had 4 hits before Skylar Wallace arrived from Japan.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Skylar Wallace had been the missing piece from this Bandits team. And Kendra Falby just got out. Corby Otis is up at the plate. Erickson, Wallace all played together at Florida, so a lot of years that they got to know each other, practice together, compete together. A lot of familiarity, the Florida Gators in this game.
Florida well represented. Otis right side. That was a tough one to handle for Erickson. And Otis reaches. The inning continues with runners at the corners and 2 outs.
That ball had really weird spin to it, I think, and it's a turf infield, so it takes this big hop, kind of catches Jocelyn Erickson in between. And this really makes sense. They're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Megan Grant. So in the AUSL, you can just go ahead and put her on first base. You don't have to execute the pitches, but a smart move to walk the bases loaded. Now Sydney Stewart has to step up here and make them pay and have the answer to be the one to hit behind Megan Grant.
You are walking arguably the best hitter in the college game this past season, broke the single season home run record with 42 to get to a first-team All-American and the Big 12 Player of the Year in Sydney Stewart. But this has been another talking point for us on this team. Who is the protector of Megan Grant? Who is the Jordan Woolery in this situation? They have not yet found it, but it's a big opportunity for Stewart to inject a little fear into this type of decision-making.
She needs to be ready for a drop ball outside going up against Kat Sandercock. She should be looking for that pitch. Goes with a drop ball inside, maybe just to get her off the outside corner. That's how she threw her in her first at bat.
Sydney Stewart has just been waiting for her big rookie moment. She has been robbed twice, once of a home run by Jada Coleman, another of extra bases by Maya Brady. And jumps ahead 2-0.
It's a great take to not be so paranoid and worried about that pitch that she saw in her first at bat and end up chasing it, but still to make Sandercock bring that drop ball up in the zone.
Another similar take, and now way ahead in the count, 3-0. Big 12 Player of the Year and the batting champion as a senior at Arizona. Back-to-back All-American nods. Hit 36 home runs in the last 2 seasons there. Takes strike 1.
It's a good pitch to hit, but on a 3-0 count, you're going to go ahead and just full out take that one, but that was right down the heart of the plate.
It's early, but this could be a defining moment in this game tonight. Stewart takes strike 2. Now can she bounce back after taking one that she thought was ball 4? 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. Stewart fights it off.
Going heavy drop in this at bat to Stewart. Will continue to do so likely in this full count.
Another 3-2. And she takes. Sydney Stewart will take it.
They have really been having good at-bats against Kat Sandercock. That one never even really started as a strike, so easy take for Sydney Stewart as she ended up actually going to that rise ball instead of going down with her drop ball, just trying to mix things up. But good takes in that at-bat by Sydney Stewart to work the count and put pressure on Sandercock.
Mia Davidson having some big opportunities in her first 2 at-bats of the night. Had an RBI on what would always be a base hit, except they got a force out, so it ended up being a fielder's choice on her kind of blooper out into right field.
I need to adjust my scorecard. Thank you for telling me. It's a tricky one.
It's frustrating as a hitter. She's probably thinking, well, I'll take it. I needed one to fall. Mia just 1 for 13 in limited action. 5th game back. Into right center field. Circle over to make the catch. Again, Sandercock limits the damage to just 1, and the Bandits still lead.
Before this 3-game offensive explosion, and the prior 5 games before that, they only hit 219. And with runners in scoring position, they were hitting 194 in those 5 games. But those 3 games that we've been talking about where their offense has just gone off, with runners in scoring position, they have also hit 476. This team has been stepping up big and generating so many runs.
Last year, it was Zirkle, Koffel, Wallace, and Sydney McKinney. Sydney McKinney now a member of the Spark, as Sis Bates using the turf to get the out. A nice play for the first out of the inning. This year, though, it's Williams, Wallace, and Koffel who are the big 3 in this lineup, and they are missing Aaron Koffel tonight. If you're going to miss her, it was at least timely to get Skylar Wallace back. Strike 1 to Wallace, back to the top of the order. And Wallace through the right side. A 2-hit night for Skylar Wallace. She has a 15-game hit streak going back to early July of last season.
Well, Sammy Williams, the day that she had the other day at the plate against the Cascade, was 7 RBI worthy. And it was in her first at-bat against Sam Landry that she struck out on a drop ball. And then after that, she just was able to attack the outside part of the plate.
She popped out on 1 pitch in her first at-bat against Kenzie Brown. Swinging first pitch, and it's a line shot up the middle. She's seen 2 pitches on the night, and that time it works out.
Well, it's all about adjustment. She got jammed in her first at-bat tonight and was able to make the most of that to not get jammed here. It's the same thing that she did in the first game against the Cascade. They worked her on the outside corner. She struck out in her first at-bat. So then they tried to work her there again in her next 2 at-bats. Then she turned that into a double and then a grand slam off of Gottschall on the outside corner. They thought they could have success there, but Sammy Williams said not so fast. 7 RBIs in her last 2 at-bats.
Williams retired as they get the force out at second for the second of the inning. Notable that Mac Barbara has stayed in this game at the DP spot. She was the one that just hit that ball, so she is over at first base with runners at the corners. Shauna Stan's walking out toward Alex Leap. Our first base umpire might want to have a conversation about the play at second. Let's see what Alex has to say.
The Bandits are challenging the play at second base. The call in the field is out. The play is under further review.
See if Cahalan keeps her foot on the bag, and she might have been off. Tries to drag her toe on the backside of the bag. I don't know, you know, it seems like right there she could potentially be on the bag. This is going to be a very tough one for this review process. Oh.
I think this was a combination of Sammy Williams confirming what Shonda Stanton thought she might have seen
After
at that
review,
play.
the call on the field has changed. The runner is safe. This is Chicago's first challenge with 1 remaining.
Well, these are the types of mistakes against the Bandits offense you just can't make when they are hitting the ball like this. Every out that you can possibly take, you have to get. And it's what got the Cascade into trouble when they gave up 13 runs 2 nights ago, is that they're playing a little bit on their heels. They gave up some hits and some runs that they shouldn't have, and then they just could not dig themselves out of the hole that they found themselves in, down by so many runs. And especially with where Chicago is at in their order in the middle, with Morgan Zirkle coming up with the most home runs in the league last season.
Morgan Zirkle, 9 of them a year ago, just 1 this season. She was one of their 5 protects in the expansion draft in the offseason, with the Spark and the Cascade joining. She's on a 3-game hit streak. There's actually already made it 4 tonight with that triple earlier that she ended up scoring on because of an error. Taryn Kern will run over at first base. And it's Zirkle against Brown. Fouls it straight back. Morgan Zirkle set a career high in home runs with 9, led the league. Then she went back to Marshall. They set a program record with home runs this year. They had the Conference Player of the Year, Sydney Burko. Zirkle gets a contract extension after leading them back to the postseason for the first time since she was a senior, playing for Shonda Stanton back in 2017 as an All-American. And then who is waiting for her in the pro game but her former head coach at Marshall, Shonda Stanton. Behind in the count, 0-2. Zirkle into left field this time. Power to both sides. And that is going to clear the bases. Or will it? A great throw in, and they retire Kern. So it's 2 RBIs for Zirkle on the double. It was a great relay in from left field. A lot of damage done regardless, but Portland hoping this is only 2 and not 3.
Well, these outfielders for Cascade just continue to play so shallow. So these balls that are well hit, well struck by Chicago's bats are getting by these outfielders, leading to additional extra bases and runs scored.
I have a clean out at the plate. Well, do you think we should change it? If not, they want to review it.
I wouldn't change anything from looking at the line.
Okay.
She went to where the ball was through.
Right.
Shonda Stanton immediately came in. She was asking about obstruction.
Then they want to review it. Okay. Right. They're going to look at it. Okay. That's what we said. That's what we said.
Chicago is challenging the play at home plate. The call on the field is out with no obstruction. That play is under further review.
You know, it's a tricky play with where the ball is coming in from and the angle of the throw from Kinley Cahalan, because she's right down the line. So the throw is going to take Mia Davidson into the base path with where that throw is coming from. But what I think that Mia Davidson does a good job of doing is almost straddling the plate to leave access to home plate before she has possession of the ball. I don't think that this is obstruction. I think Mia Davidson did as well as you possibly could do to avoid it.
After review, the call at home plate is confirmed. The runner is out with no obstruction. The catcher went in the trajectory of the throw. This is Chicago's second and final challenge.
That is an excellent explanation from Alex Leap as well, so love that. For Chicago, it's still a very positive play. It's a 2 RBI double for Morgan Zirkle, who has a triple and a double to her name tonight.
A good throw by Kenley Cahalan. Good relay in from Otis. So Otis to Cahalan to putting the tag down to Mia Davidson.
Were you saying that as you were writing 7-6-2 in your book?
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. Yeah. Pitching change, Carly Hoover coming in from this game as it becomes her shortest start of her career. We go from the rookie to the 8th-year pro. Carly Hoover from Clemson, South Carolina, played her college ball at LSU. Just returned from Japan last week. She's played there for a long time now and is making her second appearance. Both have come out of the bullpen. Her first one went for 5 innings, only gave up 1 hit, no runs, and struck out 5.
Yeah, she looked really good. We didn't get to see her pitch last season for the Blaze because she got injured early on. But she had really electric stuff in that first appearance and just looked to her peak form.
Hoover faces Mary Jacopo first, just missing down and in. This was a big pickup for the Cascade in the expansion draft. And it was a tough decision, I'm sure, for Dana Sorensen to not protect Carly Hoover. That was her first pick 2 years ago in the inaugural draft, 2nd overall. But Hoover only threw 2/3 of an inning last year and then missed the rest of the season. So she was available in the expansion draft, which she went 3rd overall to Portland, right behind Sam Landry. This is what she did in Japan so far this year, 14-2. She is a workhorse over there, just like that she could be in this league.
Well, and just to stress, it's a big deal for players to go and play in the JDL. It's quite an honor. It's a very highly respected professional league that everybody has tried to work to model. It's been sustainable for many years. Many of the great players that are from the United States have gone over to play in Japan, and that continues to happen. It's been happening for decades.
Hoover is an imposing presence in the circle, stands at 6'2" tall. And we saw her for those 2/3 of an inning. And she is impressive to watch, especially we were in Wichita sitting basically right behind the backstop. And Hoover gets Jacopo on strikes. Chicago up 3 in large part due to Morgan Zirkle. We get set for this 3rd inning, and it's led off by one of her former teammates, Kenley Cahalan, who takes strike 1. Skylar, welcome back.
Thank you. How y'all feeling up there?
We're feeling great now that you're back from Japan.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back.
How did you keep up with the Bandits when you were over there finishing that part of your season?
Honestly, it was hard. See you! It was hard just because of the time difference, and then when, you know, they're playing games, I'm at practice or I'm just getting my day started, kind of doing my routine. But I would see things on Instagram. Obviously, my teammates, I'm checking in with them every so often, doing the best I can. But the biggest thing was just knowing that they were working hard and preparing the way that they should. And then I was doing the same thing so that when I came back, I was hopping in and we're grooving. See you!
Skylar, what did you feel like maybe has been the missing piece since you got back, or maybe what you heard about before? Like, why is everything clicked now?
Hey, I can't answer that. I just think a lot of us came in and with our experience and our knowledge. See you! Yes! Atta girl, Kat! Atta girl! Just with our experience and our knowledge, I think our composure too. Like I think like you guys said earlier, like JD is such a respected league. They do things, it's the same game, but they do things differently and they just go about it in such a respectful way. And I think bringing that over here and being like, hey, like the zone's going to be the zone. You have to attack strikes, get pitches that you can hit, and then just really embrace. Atta girl, Sammy, really embrace one another. So I think that was the biggest thing that we brought over here, and everyone's just kind of fallen into their place, having that composure and having a lot of fun.
Well, one of the things we talk about is just the emotional leader that you are for this team. We saw it develop really early last year. Why has that been something that you've gravitated toward and has been an important part of your game?
I love investing into people. I love learning about people. I love seeing what makes them click, how their mind works in their process. Obviously, I want to be super successful myself, but at the end of the day, I can't do it by myself. So bringing everyone along with me and having fun, because we get to do this as our job. I get to train and work out and have fun and play softball for a living, and it pays my bills, and I'm very lucky for that. So obviously, when I'm here, I want to enjoy that piece and just really embrace this opportunity, really embrace our culture, embrace everyone on my staff, and just get after it.
0-2 count here to Kennedy Powell, trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning.
I'm gonna let this pitch go and then see if we can get it. One more question with you. I had a feeling that might happen. Thanks, Skylar, for a quick one.
Go Bandits!
The yell was the perfect end to that interview. How about an 8-pitch inning? Skylar Wallace got off easy with that in-game interview. Let's put up 4 runs against her, but it just wasn't enough. This is popped up, a long run for Powell. It'll drop. Just feels like Texas can't get anything to go their way right now, and they've been so close. See a Talons fan in attendance.
The Talons have just looked unstoppable, just winning in all kinds of different ways, low-scoring games and high-scoring games. Their offense can step up when needed. Bree Ellis is back in the lineup and looking healthy and swinging the bat well, too.
Think about all they lost last year. Maya Brady gone, Tori Vidalis, Sydney Romero, Ali Aguilar retired, Sierra Sacco Ferry. The list goes on. They had a great allocation draft, great rookie draft. And they're right back at it at the top of the league as Carly Hoover gets set for her first full inning of work. Will face Jocelyn Erickson, Bella Dayton, and Jessica Clements.
But we've seen an at-bat like that from Jada Coleman for many years. It's how she won 4 national championships at Oklahoma with that rest of that senior class that were just so instrumental in their success and going back to back to back to back at OU.
Erickson takes ball 4. Sunday, an AUSL doubleheader. First up, the Volts face the Bandits at 1 Eastern on ESPN2. Then it's the Cascade taking on the Spark at 9 on ESPN. That is going to wrap up Women's Sports Sunday. Actually, can't wait after the Fever Aces game. Catch those live and stream every inning on the ESPN app. Now Bella Dayton after the leadoff walk. Ground ball left side, chance for 2. Kaylin quickly to assist Bates. I said chance for 2 with Bella Dayton at the plate. That was never going to happen. She's on with the fielder's choice. Out number 1 for Carly Hoover. It's another one who's really fun to see back in the States, just making her 2nd appearance. She has a big fan base in the crowd tonight. A lot of Hoover shirts and jerseys sitting up there. That one right there is mom, Jolene, who is the former longtime Clemson volleyball head coach, winningest head coach in that program's history, spent 22 years there from 1993 to 2015.
Heard a lot about her over the years, from Carly being at LSU to then coming and playing pro. Good to see it put a face to a name, and you always read it about her in Carly's bio at every level that she's been at. Carly
was the 3-time South Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year for softball in high school. She was a 3-time All-State volleyball player in high school as well. So mom did rub off on her a little bit in the sense that Carly was probably a pretty wicked outside hitter back in her day.
She's so tall.
Bunt down the third base line. That is a very nicely placed bunt by Jessica Clements.
And this is how the bottom of the Bandits lineup can beat you and find different ways to get on. We saw Bella Dayton in game 1 do this a couple of times, lay down a beautiful drag bunt, use her speed to get down the line, and now Jessica Clements does it. Catches Kennedy Powell a little bit back, and now Ailana Agbayani will step up to the plate, and she's somebody as well that has speed in a short game. So again, a balanced Bandits lineup with this power and speed.
Strike one to Carly Hoover. This is Ailana Agbayani. She's got plenty of speed, but has also showed off the pop lately. Last 3 games, 4 for 8 at the plate, a double, a home run, and has driven in 3. 0 for 1 tonight. Goes left side. Cahalan comes up. That's a great pick at shortstop. 2 outs.
It's a great pick, and you could just tell that she attacked it from the mid-ball and play and put pressure against this Cascade defense. Gets the short hop on the backhand. Clement slows up to allow her to make that play. As a base runner, you have to do that. And then kind of an unorthodox toss that she had to make to third base that she made look easy, and it's not.
Swing and a miss by Skylar Wallace. Well, these two have likely seen each other plenty in the JDL. Wallace 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. First time facing Hoover tonight. Rips this, and it's just beyond the glove of Sis Bates. 1 run scores, and Agbayani pulls up at third. 3-hit night for Skylar Wallace.
She's come up in every inning. Continue to get multiple base runners on, and Skylar Wallace continues to put good barrel on these pitches. Goes down and gets this changeup. Stays on it long enough, and it just sneaks past Sis Bates at second base. She got a glove on it. Took a little bit of speed off of it, but can't get to that in the air. And Bandits continue to score. This is now 8 innings in a row, or 7 innings in a row that the Bandits have scored against the Cascade.
Skylar Wallace has 9 hits in 4.5 games. And back to your point of the scoring against the Cascade, going back the last 3 games, this one and the last 2, after 2 innings, in each of those games, the Bandits had scored 5 runs. First 2 innings, exactly 5 runs, 3 straight games in the first 2 innings. And of course, they didn't stop there. This is lifted to left center field, carrying and gone. It's the best hitter in the league, Sammy Williams, with another one.
Sammy Williams has just been identifying pitches so well. This is right down Broadway for her, and she doesn't miss. That's the thing about her at bats this year. She is attacking mistakes, finding good pitches to hit in her at bats, and she is getting on time. 70 miles an hour. Sammy Williams is right on time with that pitch, and she just does it again. A 3-run home run for Sammy Williams.
She has 20 home runs in the last 7 games, and she is with Anna.
Sammy, you in this offense just cannot be stopped. What is working so well for you and your team?
I think for me, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, just like even when I'm down an account, knowing that I can get my barrel to any ball and staying on the offensive mindset. So I think in between, we're talking about the pitcher and what they're throwing, and just trying to be in that relaxed mindset.
We see that team celebration one more time. Thanks, Sammy.
Sammy Williams is going to start traveling with that hat. 6th home run of the year. 10 RBIs in 2 games against Portland. "26 RBIs on the season. She's 2 shy of last year's leader for the full year.
Wow.
which was Erin Koffel at 28.
She was definitely a pick, too, when the Bandits picked her up that I think flew under the radar. I don't think, this is a no offense to Sammy Williams, I just don't think anybody in the Bandits organization expected this type of production from her. You could have any name, be from any school, and the start that Sammy Williams has had to this season has just been unbelievable, and nobody would expect it from anybody in this league with these pitchers that she's doing it against.
She's the greatest player in the history of the Iowa State program. Finished there in 2021 as a first-team All-American. And she was picked in the 4th round of the allocation draft. And you think about what they needed when you lose a Sydney McKinney, a Bubba Nichols-Camarena, Delaney Wiz. Kern goes down swinging.
Sammy Williams is unstoppable this season. It seems like every swing looks like this, hitting for extra bases. She is hitting over 700 with runners in scoring position, and she does it again.
There'd still be a half game back with one more loss. And we talked about this earlier, just between ourselves. The next 4 days are going to tell us a lot about who's really going to be in this chase in the final couple weeks.
Well, we've only had, this is just our 2nd season for the AUSL. It was the inaugural season last season, but there has never been a span where a team has hit the way that the Bandits have hit in these last 4 games. I mean, it is just completely next level stuff. They just can't get out.
They have scored 44 runs in not even 4 games, 3.5 games. 2 of those were run rules, so take out 4 more innings that they haven't had to play. And they are on pace for another one tonight. Sis Bates grounds it to the right side. Taryn Kern has entered the game at first base. Sunday at noon Eastern, it's Boston Legacy taking on Bay FC in the NWSL, presented by Ally. Watch it live on ESPN, and you can catch it on the ESPN app. Great time to be a soccer fan in the United States, in North America. It's a great time to be a soccer fan.
The Louisville team was on my flight the other day.
1 pitch ground out for Falby. Did you get any tips?
No tips, just thought it was cool.
Were you? Did you play any soccer growing up?
No soccer for me, not one bit.
Top of the batting order with number 3, Corby Otis.
Top of the order, Corby Otis with 2 outs. Kat Sandercock trying to make quick work of this lineup in back-to-back innings. Otis pops it up, and Agbayani has it. 8 pitches last inning, 6 pitches this inning. Unbelievable numbers that we are seeing over the last 4 games. 44 runs scored.
Averaging 2.4 runs per inning. Usually you look at that stat and it's like a per game type thing. No. 2.4 runs per inning. Unbelievable.
That is ominous as an opposing pitcher.
Well, let's not miss this bottom line here that the Cascade this season are scoring 3.9 runs per game. That's just, I mean, that makes that graphic that much better to prove how hot the Bandits offense is.
So basically, if you hold them to 1 run in an inning, it is a massive win. Zirkle takes a first pitch strike. Chicago is 4th in the standings. Based on what you have seen, though, over the last 3.5 games, behind Utah, is this the most dangerous team in the league right now?
Has to be. Getting Lexi Kilfoyle back, the way that she has dominated, the way that Kat Sandercock has looked as well. This team is putting everything together, and you could tell that they're just feeling really confident. I mean, this offense is just something we've never seen.
This organization has had tons of success over the years, of course, brought back by the AUSL after the NPF days. And so what they had was an existing ballpark and an existing fan base who even last year, when games were played in Rosemont, if the Bandits were a part of it, they were not donning Chicago across their chest or any branding for the city, but all the fans knew this team would end up right back here in Rosemont. And so, in a way, Chicago had their home field advantage even last year.
So much history has happened on this field, and it's great to see the home crowd getting behind this Bandits team, because their first couple of home series, Bandits didn't look all that great. There have been so many momentum swings and ebbs and flows in this season already for every team in the league. So Bandits, when they were playing here before, they did not look anything like this, but these crowds have to be so happy with how they have performed the last 2 games.
Another foul ball off the bat of Zirkle in this full count. Well, you remember their home opener. They lost the first 4 of the season, got swept in Utah, came home and lost to Oklahoma City in rapid fire fashion. I mean, that game felt like it lasted an hour. It was an hour and 27. It, at the time, was the fastest in AUSL history, and it kind of sucked the life out of this place on opening day. But since then, they have won 7 of 10 games.
Well, thinking about just Morgan Zirkle's 2 at-bats, 2 doubles. One was on an inside pitch that she pulled hard down the right field line. Then in her next at-bat, which was the very next inning, gets an outside pitch and uses every inch of the left field line. So these hitters are spraying the ball all over the ballpark.
And then that, which is making it extremely difficult for a pitcher, even on a good pitch, to retire them easily.
And I mean, quite frankly, I feel like they should be up by more than 7 runs. I don't know. This game just seems to have been dominated at this point by the Bandits offense, and I'm actually surprised that they're only up by 7.
Slow roller right side. Vidalis, not a chance. 3rd hit of the game for Morgan Zirkle. ESPN's live coverage of the championships Wimbledon continues Friday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern. All those matches and courts will stream live on the ESPN app each day.
Number 1 Yannick Sinner will play actually an American tomorrow in Brooksby. Tommy Paul will be in action tomorrow. Novak Djokovic and Coco Gauff plays tomorrow as well.
So the Stars faring a bit better here in Wimbledon than they did at the French Open.
That is a really big day. Pegula plays tomorrow as well. She's an American, and Naomi Osaka. Can't wait to watch.
Also got the return of Serena, which is awesome for not just tennis fans, but sports fans. I mean, what an iconic athlete. 0-2 count to Mary Jacopo. In the air, in foul territory, Vidalis cannot quite run it down. So we've shown you all the numbers. The Bandits averaging over 2 runs per inning in this last 3.5 games. 44 runs scored total. They are doing it in 2 of those 4 games. The reigning MVP has not played, and that is Erin Koffel. She does not play again tonight.
She is stressed out, which seems like a good sign. We saw her against the Spark this past weekend where she was not in her uniform.
That's what she did last year. This year hitting .375, 5 doubles, a home run. She's walked 14 times this year. So the MVP, everybody knows when she's in the building because you're not pitching to her much.
Looks like we're having some issues with Carly Hoover in the circle. Not sure.
Well, it was 94 at first pitch. Still right around 90 degrees. They're just outside the Windy City.
Yeah, she has a good relationship with Mia Davidson back behind the plate.
Portland goes to Oklahoma City for the 4th of July matchup, and then game 2 of that will be Sunday night on Women's Sports Sunday after the Fever and Aces on ESPN. Strikeout number 3 for Hoover. Here's Jocelyn Erickson. Takes the first pitch away for ball 1.
The Bandits have scored in 7 innings in a row against the Cascades, so they only hit 4 innings because of the 5-inning run rule in game 1, and they have scored in 3 innings so far today. So Cascade just have not been able to put up zeros against them.
Have scored at least 1 run in 15 of the last 20 innings. Hoover trying to lessen that percentage here in the bottom of the 4th. Bella Dayton up next. 3 different players in the top 4 in the order with multi-hit games.
Tell me you're having fun without telling me that you're having fun.
Erickson, shallow center. Falby calls off Sis Bates. Analysis overall of Portland right now and kind of where they are. They're in a good spot in the standings as far as they're right in the thick of it and kind of a 4-team hunt.
Yeah,
but based on what you've seen these last couple games.
I don't love the runners that they're leaving on base. And it's just been tough for their starting pitchers. I mean, that's what sticks out the most to me. That is what had made them so successful early on, was that their starting pitchers had gone deep into games. But these last 3 or so outings, their pitchers have come out either in the 2nd inning or after the 2nd inning. Sam Landry had a tough start in game 1 of this series. Kelly Maxwell lasted 2 innings in her start against the Volts. So I just think it's been a tough series for them after playing well against Texas, where it looked like their offense was actually going to have a breakthrough series. They hit 3 home runs in the 7th inning and a come-from-behind win against Rachel Garcia in the Volts at Dell Diamond. It kind of seemed like their offense was going to take off after that, but not been able to have much run support here.
Still time left. But when they play the Spark this weekend, it's just 2 games between them and Oklahoma City. That'll start Saturday. It feels like there's going to be a little desperation for maybe both of those teams. Portland desperate to just figure some things out. And Oklahoma City knows that they have to beat them to try and run them down in the standings.
I think just figuring out your starting pitchers maybe, or mixing things up. Peyton Gottschall out of the bullpen has been really good. Carly Hoover has been really good. She's given up some runs here, but her first outing was basically lights out. So just trying to see who are going to be our game 1, game 2 starters. Who's going to be continued to be best in relief. But I don't know, maybe mix some things up. Give Carly Hoover a start this weekend against the Spark.
It'll be interesting, too, on the Spark side of things, who they'll start. We've kind of been looking at the Jalen Ford situation, hoping that she might get a nod this weekend. She's looked good, the lefty out of James Madison, longtime pro. Hard to believe that's the first ball of this at bat for Bella Dayton. She just keeps fouling pitches off. Case in point. 5 foul balls for Bella Dayton off Carly Hoover. there a hitter for you when you were pitching that comes to mind as like, man, she's just so hard to get out?
Calista Balco at Arizona hit 3 home runs off of me in one game, and that about did me in. Oh no, is she all right?
Hoover hobbling a little bit after trying to make that play. And now first and third after the low throw.
It just seems like Carly Hoover has been laboring in this inning. Just her body language has looked different. Her facial expressions, like, just been a challenge for her to get through these hitters. So she ends up slipping on the turf.
It will go down as a single for Bella Dayton. Hoover walking off, I think. Maybe asked for a cup of water. It's been a long half inning so far, and we mentioned the temperature, 89 degrees still here in Rosemont. It's not the winning run yet, but it would be a potential run roll situation if they can get Zirkle in from third base. Feels like forever ago that Morgan Zirkle had an infield single in this inning. Kelly Maxwell out in the bullpen. Portland would like for this, at least for Hoover to get through this batter and get out of the inning. It's Jessica Clements outside, ball one.
Yeah, you can just tell it's hot out there. Looking at even the base runners who've been, like Morgan Zirkle, who's been on the bases for this whole inning, just trying to breathe through it and catch her breath.
Clements shows bunt. Dayton again trying to tempt Mia Davidson into a throw, but Davidson, understanding the situation, is not going to take any chances on letting Morgan Zirkle come in.
Yeah, Dayton just playing games over there at first base in this first and third situation, trying to lure a throw.
Clements into left field. You won't keep Zirkle from scoring on that. And the Bandits have Portland in run rule territory yet again.
Just off the end of the bat and just finds a hole, pokes it up, pitches about 2 balls off the plate, but Clements able just to poke it out to left field.
Two-hit night for Jessica Clements now. Every batter in the order for Chicago has reached at least once. Runner goes. Great throw by Davidson and a nice job by Cahalan to apply the tag. Dayton caught stealing. Portland sphere inside Parkway Bank Sports Complex. Portland needs 1 run to force at least the 6th inning. Megan Grant could certainly supply it. Tied for the league lead in home runs and mashes that toward the merchandise tent foul.
And everybody goes running after it. There are about 8 little kids that went running after it, and one girl got it, the girl in the red shirt. Yes, she's so happy.
Needs to get 43 to sign that.
Yes.
Grant underneath this toward the clouds. Agbayani is out in right field to make the catch. How about this WNBA matchup coming up on Sunday at 7 Eastern? Indiana goes to Las Vegas to take on the Aces. Catch it live on ESPN and Disney+. You can watch it there. You can stream it on the ESPN app. That's part of Women's Sports Sundays, and we are so thrilled that we will have The Late Show at 9 Eastern in Oklahoma City, Cascade Spark right after it. Caitlin Clark day-to-day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder what the update is on Caitlin Clark for that game.
Ooh, nice pitch from Kat Sandercock. We haven't talked about Kat at all tonight, but she's put together a great performance in the circle. And while Portland is frustrated, they've left some runners on base in some appetizing situations. Sandercock has not allowed them to capitalize. Stewart to left field and gone. For the first time in her career, Sydney Stewart touches them all.
Just sounded different coming off the bat of Sydney Stewart. This time she put it well out of the reach of any outfielders so that they could not rob her like in a couple of previous at-bats this season. 234 feet off of a rise ball, and that is her first professional career home run.
Her season average tonight has risen to 258. She has 2 hits. She also has an RBI walk with the bases loaded. Her on-base percentage is skyrocketed over 400 tonight. But I'm sure, like you said, that one had to feel good for the first time in her career. And Anna is with Sydney in the dugout.
You just threw your team a lifeline when they desperately needed it. Take us through that at-bat.
I think just knowing the situation and just trying to keep my team in it, chip away one at a time and, pass the bat. That was our mentality for this inning.
Yeah, well, you guys are still in it. Keep working. Thank you.
Popped up by Davidson. 2 outs. Nice bounce back by Sandercock.
Yeah, she had retired 8 in a row before that. Talked about how she had been cruising and doing her thing. Couple of 3 up, 3 down innings and a quick out to Megan Grant, of all people, to start this inning. And then Sydney Stewart answers with that home run to give this Cascade team a little life.
Stewart's one of the big bats that could change the outlook of this offense. Kenley Cahalan is another one who is 0 for 2 tonight. Trying to extend a 5-game hit streak here in what could be her final at bat of the evening. I misspoke earlier. She did not play with Skylar Wallace at Florida. They missed each other by a year there. They also missed each other by a year at Alabama. Cahalan puts a good swing on this in his center. Zirkle stays with it. And that'll do it for the top of the 5th. So now the Bandits need one to try and walk it off in just 5.
It's just so much better this way. We need to have this at every single game.
Agbayani lays down the bunt and beats it out. Bunt single to lead off the bottom of the 5th. I think you probably challenge this if you're Portland. You might as well. You have 2 of them. Nothing to lose here.
The call at first base, the call on the field is safe. That play is under further review.
Right, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Let's see.
Yeah, safe. So, by the way, in these 2 games against Cascade, Bella Dayton has laid down 2 bunt singles. Jessica Clemens has laid down 1, and Agbayani has laid down 1.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe. This is the Cascades' first challenge with 1 remaining.
That is 4 bunt singles. As if it did hits, and what they do with runners in scoring position. The bottom of the lineup has been using their speed and athleticism in a way that's been getting on base too.
It's just all coming together for this team right now. They are facing a new pitcher, the lefty Kelly Maxwell. This is hit through the left side. Skylar Wallace has 4 hits tonight. Agbayani's into 3rd. Wallace is into 2nd. And Chicago's relentless offense continues.
75 miles an hour off the bat. She just handles an up pitch so well. Short swing, right to the ball, expecting something up in the zone from Kelly Maxwell. And man, this Bandits offense is relentless.
And here is Sammy Williams. 10 RBIs in 2 games against Portland. They've not even played 5 full innings yet. And Williams has 2 more on the pond. Jumps ahead 2-0.
And you know Cascade will be happy not to see Sammy Williams this weekend in Oklahoma City when they take on the Spark because of what she has done to them.
Front runner for hitter of the year in the league. Into foul territory. How do you get her out right now? She's hitting almost 550. She's got 26 RBIs, 2 off of last year's total for the leader in the league. She could go over that number right here. Into right field. Grant has to bring it home. Agbayani is safe, and that is going to do it. It was a good throw from Grant, but Agbayani is in there. Of course, we will have a challenge. Portland has one more, so there's no reason they wouldn't try this.
The play at home plate. The call in the field is safe. The play is under further review.
But it looked live like she was in safely.
Another RBI for Sammy Williams is what it looks like. It will be 11 in 2 games for her against the Cascade. But I think Agbayani definitely got her foot just in there before the tag was made. I mean, right at that point of the plate, her toe gets there, and then the tag is made later. This call will stand.
The relentless, scrappy Chicago Bandits lineup just really taking on the identity of their coach, Shonda Stanton. And it's what you talked about, the bunts at the bottom. They're just finding ways, and then it's the approach at the top that clearly is working for all those big hitters.
They're going to look to see if she left early at third base, which I think she actually left a little bit late when I watched it live. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, she just really, I think it's a rookie there at third base. I think she really wanted to be sure.
After review, the runner left on time at third base and is safe at home. That concludes the game.
That is 4 consecutive wins for the Chicago Bandits, and they have played